Hello, boils and ghouls. You are now tuned in to PVD Horror Podcast. Pleasant screams.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Dave. I'm joined here with Brandon. This is PVD Horror. And today we're doing a special episode. I mean, it's a regular episode, but it's a special episode because
special.
It's a special. We got a few special things we want to cover. So we got Easter coming up. We got 420 coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got the thing that Brandon's probably looking the most forward to, Wrestlemania coming up. Wrestlemania 41.
WrestleMania 41.
They did 41 of those damn things. No, they did 40 of them already.
It'll be 41.
Damn.
Yes.
So that's exciting, huh?
Yeah, because that was funny. I'm like, damn. I'm like you hit me up and we were like, all right, we're gonna record tomorrow. I'm like, all right, what are we gonna do? And I'm sitting there just like, damn. I'm like, wait a minute. We got Easter coming up. We got 420, and we have WrestleMania all in one weekend.
You know, I every holiday, you know, I love holiday movies, and like we've done so many since us starting in 2018. We've talked about so many. I'm like,
yeah.
At the point now, I'm like, do people really want to hear me talk about a holiday horror again? But like, you know what? I do love talking about them. I love a movie that comes out like that you rewatch once a year because of a special event that's happening. And yeah, Easter's getting a little list of films.
It's getting a list.
You know?
They're working on it, you know, and I think that's the thing that we were talking about before. Like even like Thanksgiving, it only had like so many movies, and now it's just growing where it's just like, all right, now even if it's a big motion picture or independent film, like we're getting it, you know what I mean? So
yeah, Thanksgiving's a perfect example because when we first started in 2018, there was like 3 go-to films, I think, at the time. It was always Blood Rage, Blood Feast,
Thanksgiving,
and maybe 4 actually. I was gonna say Home Sweet Home was one of them too.
Yeah.
But now they have way more, and Easter is the same thing. I think back in the day we only had a couple that we would talk about, but there's a ton, and I'm not going to pretend like I've seen every Easter horror movie. Actually, probably the one I need. It's probably the holiday that I need to like kind of dig in on the most, but I have seen a good amount. So let's want to kick it off and just talk some Easter horror.
Yeah, we'll just throw out some films. You know what I mean? Because
I want to ask you when we throw these out. I also want to know if you've actually watched them or if these are like out of these films, how many have you watched?
Yeah. So I want to take it back. Probably like the first Easter themed horror movie that I've seen probably was Critters 2.
Yes.
You know,
and that is the one that was like always the most commonly brought up whenever we would talk Easter horror. Always Critters 2. It's not like specifically Easter related. But it's occurring during Easter.
Yeah. And I think that's how we would get a lot of films back in the 90s, you know what I mean, and 2000s, you know, instead of now, like I said, where we have that independent road where it's just like, dude, I'm making a fucking full out fucking bunny fucking horror movie where we didn't have those things before. It was just like, all right, we're gonna throw it in like a little subtle, you know, move.
Where does Critters 2 rank in your Critters like films?
I would have to say probably right number 2. You know, it goes 1, 2, and then so we would have to break everything else down. I have to rewatch them, but it was just always like, you know, those films like the cover art and everything like standing out. Yeah, for me. So like Critters is always like
that might be a fun franchise to rewatch and actually go up to like Critters Attack and just talk about that someday because that's a pretty like not talked about franchise. I know some people really love Critters, but a lot of people I feel like haven't even seen most of the Critters.
Yeah,
that was a big one for me growing up, actually. And I feel like I never talk about it.
Both. Just the series. Oh, okay.
The first and the second one. I know I've seen the third one, but I used to rewatch the first. I probably rewatched the second one more than the first one. I kind of think I liked that as a kid more than the first one. The first one is kind of like it was reminiscent of like Leprechaun 1.
Yeah.
It's mostly in a home and but like in Critters 2, they're out everywhere and it's bonkers.
Leonardo DiCaprio's first film. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
Yep. So
yeah.
yeah, Critters 2, definitely up there. And then there's a very fun franchise that I think some people are familiar with, but not everybody maybe. And that's
Mm,
the Bunnyman movies.
yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen any of them?
I fell onto a few of them years back when we started this,
Mm-hmm.
your holiday horror. So it was just like when we started doing your list and everything, I'm
Yep.
like, all right, let me check this out. And it's like this guy in a fucking bunny fucking suit with a fucking chainsaw and everything. I'm just like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
But
So here's something funny about that. And that
mm,
so I'm a big fan of Bunnyman Vengeance and Bunnyman Massacre.
okay,
The first Bunnyman itself is okay, but I think I like I'm trying to remember which one I liked better. Whatever one Diana Prince is in is
okay,
better. I think is better than the rest of them, but they're all to me pretty enjoyable.
yeah,
I actually ended up finding it's like what would you call it? Like an urban legend.
okay,
It's based on an urban legend. The storyline where like a guy dressed in a bunny suit, like terrorizes a group of like a bus of kids, which he actually
yep,
does in one of them. It's like
yeah. I was gonna
pretty
bring that up.
bonkers. Yeah. So I didn't realize it actually had like an origin of like a real
Mm,
folklore thing.
yeah,
The cryptid, I guess you would say, in some
yeah.
way.
And even the film Holiday, you know what I mean? Like that was something that stuck out to me, like because that had a like fucked up Easter scene,
I'm
like
so Dude, I'm so glad you just said that. I meant to write that one down on the list and I totally
uh-huh.
forgot to, but that Easter segment was good.
Yeah, I think that probably like was one of the best like Easter,
Yeah.
things I liked because it was just like so fucked up and weird. I was like, oh man,
Is that the film that Seth Green's in the Christmas
I think
segment?
so. Yeah, I think
He's
so.
like buying the gift or
Mm,
whatever. Yeah. All right. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen that one, that's a pretty good like holiday anthology, and they do different holidays.
yeah.
So the segment for Easter takes like more of like a pagan
Hmm.
um version of Easter, and it's yeah, it's pretty good. I definitely would recommend watching that.
Yeah.
Have you seen Beaster Day?
Beaster Day. No, I haven't.
It's the giant uh like evil looking rabbit that bunny that's like terrorizing everyone. It
I think that came out like 2019, right?
Something like that. And
So
there's
yeah.
there's like that one scene, I know I posted some pictures of it, where there's like army tanks shooting at it, and it just looks super cheesy, but it is actually a pretty like funny super low budget movie
Mm,
to watch. Um
yeah.
yeah. Then the other one that actually I kind of forgot about too is Night of the Lepus, I think you say it.
Yeah.
So that's like an oldie
Hmm.
with
Yeah.
some
Yeah,
funny
that was a big
distortions.
yeah, that was a big film because I remember when like we said we would always highlight that, kind of go back and do it.
Yeah.
And so it's cool, you know what I mean? Because it's like just being able to just highlight like holiday themed horror is something special because it's like we would only really just always kind of look at like the Christmas movies and stuff like
Yeah.
that all the time. We would
Yep.
always get so just being able to just focus on like other stuff like this is like really good.
If you're a filmmaker and you make a holiday themed horror, there's
Hmm.
a pretty good chance if you do it, especially if you do it for one that doesn't have a ton of movies already for it, it's a pretty
Yep,
good chance people are going to talk about your film, even if it's not good,
exactly.
every year. And that's the case for some of these. Um, there's another one that was part of that um, Proportion Productions, which now
Hmm.
has like moved on to be Jagged Edge Productions, and they did the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. But
Yep.
before that, they were Proportion, and they did Easter Bunny Massacre, and it was the poster for it made it look like it was going to be way cooler than it was. It ended up being
Mm,
like a whodunit type thing. It had Sarah T. Cohen, who we had on the
yeah.
show ages ago. Actually, she was in a lot of those movies. She was in it.
Hmm.
Wasn't the worst thing, and I think they made another film of it as well. And then the last one I was going to mention was Easter Bunny Kill Kill. I saw that a while ago. I don't really remember it too much, but I did want to bring it up because actually I just realized the director who made that one is the same director that just did that Ed Kemper film that I just
Oh,
watched,
okay.
and Chad Ferrin. So I thought that was kind of cool. I had seen one of his early films and didn't even realize it.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
yeah, those are the Easter films.
Yeah, and if you have some other Easter films that we didn't throw out, let us know. You know what I mean? Don't hide them all. You know what I mean? Because I think there's not that many, but like you just touched on it. Like, what holidays would you like to see like another horror film
Yeah.
created?
Um, you know, a couple that are lacking. I think Fourth of July is kind of lacking.
Mm,
I know we got Uncle Sam, and then we have is it the Bay that we always bring up for Fourth of July because that's kind of set on like a Fourth of July celebration. But other
yeah.
than that, you don't see a ton. And in today's political climate, you could probably get some pretty interesting segments. They'd be controversial, but I think it could be fun.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think a lot of the other ones are getting covered pretty well now. Like Irish horror, like around St. Patrick's Day, is really picking up lately.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else. Is there any that you think are kind of underrepresented?
Uh, I would say, let's see,
New Year's has a decent amount now, but there still could be more, I think.
maybe another like St. Patrick's Day horror. You know what I mean? Because it's like always think about it. It's like we're always just going to Leprechaun.
Leprechaun. Yeah, I guess you're right because like there's one or two ways you do St. Patrick's Day horror. You either watch the Leprechaun franchise or you watch Irish horror movies, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But like maybe getting more fun Leprechaun
Yeah.
installments would be
Some,
cool. Yeah. Yeah.
that would be cool.
Agreed.
You know what
Now, how
else?
about
I think they
what's
need to
that?
focus on more like birthday themes of films because we like lost that in the 80s. You know what I mean?
We only got two, right?
Yeah. I think we have I think probably more, but it's just not highlighted,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, anymore like that. So I would like
Yeah.
to see something like that.
Agreed. That would be good. Um, yeah. So Easter horror, like Brandon said, definitely, let us know if you guys have more. We didn't mention what is it, Rotten Tail?
Oh, okay, yeah,
And I know
Rotten
they
Tail.
showed that
Yep.
on Joe Bob. I actually
Joe.
never watched it,
Hmm.
but it's definitely one that people tend to watch on this.
Yeah, you can throw that on the list.
Yep. All right. So another big holiday,
Yeah.
420.
So 420, you know what I mean? So when it comes down to 420, I think that like just the automatic way to go is just like you're not looking for anything serious. You're just looking to throw something
Hmm.
on and have fun. And when I think about 420, I'm thinking about fucking none other than Full Moon Pictures. You know what I mean? I'm running to the Evil Bong franchise. I don't care which one it is. They can play out of fucking order because it's
Yeah.
it's not that serious, you know? So what was the first Evil Bong film that you watched? Was it
I'm
the first
gonna I'm
one?
gonna throw you off right here. I've never watched an Evil Bong movie.
No?
I no, and I'm going to this year. I'm going to do it. Actually, I've always
Okay.
it's one of those franchises that I'm like, oh, I gotta watch those, and then I just never get around to it. And I'm ashamed of it. Actually, I need to watch the Evil Bong movies.
Yeah, that's so cheesy, but it's like it's such a fun time. Like, you know what I
It's
mean?
like it's like Ginger Dead Man, right?
Yeah.
And they have an Evil Bong Ginger Dead
Yeah, have
Man
a
crossover
gingerbread,
too.
yeah, crossover. So I think, that's the cool thing about it. It's like it's don't take it serious, you know what I mean? I think that
Yeah,
some people that go into it, they're just like, fuck that shit.
and yeah, if you're someone who doesn't like
Mhm.
silly shit, don't watch it. Probably
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And then growing up for me, you know what I mean? I think probably like the first one that I really realized was kind of like a 420 like down the road was Idle Hands, you know what I mean? So that's definitely a big stoner film
Yes.
for
Yeah.
people that want to go out and check a film out and that's you're like, okay, I can kind of take it serious a little bit and have fun. But yeah, I think that'll be a great addition, you
That's
will
a good
see.
one. Yeah.
But we also talked about that, how it's also getting a remake, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Well, I think prior to 2 weeks ago, we probably might have felt different.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. So, and I will just say it, no shade, but like we saw Hell of a Summer.
Hmm.
We were looking forward to that. And it didn't hit the way we thought it was going to hit.
No.
And then that kind of makes you look at the next film that Wolf and Hard is doing for he's doing The Idle Hands, and
Hmm.
it's kind of like, well, we'll see. Take
We'll
some of the
see.
excitement out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe that's good. Temper our
Yeah.
expectations a little bit.
And then there's
So
another one that I enjoyed, watching a lot over the quarantine was Toxic Zombies. You
did
know
I
what I mean?
see that one? I don't. Was that no? That was the one you described to us on like
Yeah, I think it
an
was.
episode back then. I don't think I saw it. Is that the one where like they crop dust?
Yeah.
Yeah. I never saw it, but I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, that's a classic right there. So if you haven't seen that, definitely add that to the list for, this special weekend.
The only like like real 420 movie that I thought of
Mm,
that I've seen is 420 Massacre,
okay.
and that actually I didn't mind. I thought it was kind of fun. Um, they get caught in a weed field, I think, and
Yeah.
some stuff happens. They get hunted down. Um, yeah, so that was good. It's got the girl from Jamie. Uh,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I know
She
what
was
you're
in the
talking
I
about.
Spend Your Grave Deja Vu
Yep.
film. So yeah, definitely that one's usually streaming somewhere. What do
Oh,
you think of? Go
hold
ahead. Go
on,
ahead.
hold on before we even go any further, because on our last episode, because when I was sitting there and I'm just like, fuck, I'm like, wait a minute. Like we were talking about the actress that's on the cover of I Spit on Your Grave, the
Yeah,
original, and I'm sitting there and I've known this, but I don't know why I just fucking draw a blank. But that's Demi Moore.
really.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay, I did not
yep.
know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Demi Moore
yeah,
with the knife behind her back.
yeah.
Well,
That's why I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I don't know why I'm drawing a fucking blank, but it was just like, she did that.
dude,
But
I'm floored.
yeah,
I did not know that fact. That is a trivia fact. You
yeah.
just gave a trivia question away right there.
Trivia. But hey, they have to come.
They have to
They have
listen.
to come to win.
And Jamie Bernadette was the actress I was trying to think of from this film.
Jamie.
And
Okay.
I was gonna throw one out at you to think, see what you think. What about the Friday the 13th remake?
Dude,
Jason loves it.
I was gonna throw that down because it was just like, why why are they focusing on this so much?
Yeah. Why is there so much weed in this movie?
Yeah,
Does
like
not make sense.
the whole opening, act is just like what's
I,
going on
I'll
here?
never forget when that came out, and I was like listening to people talking about that. And they were like, "Man, he's really trying to protect his weed crops over there. Like that's all he's doing."
Yeah.
It, it's funny too, because like when you think about it, like weed a lot of places wasn't legal at the time,
Hmm.
so it was like seen differently. Now it's like you walk outside and you're getting whiffs of it, so it's like not like so not a thing anymore than it
Yeah.
was. So it was like cool and edgy probably at the time. I don't know. Um, and then I was just thinking about it. There's that film Hanky Panky. I got
Yeah.
to interview the director for that one. That has
Hmm.
Seth Green in it as well. It's not like a straightforward 420 movie, but it's definitely like silly and better enjoyed if you're high probably.
Hmm.
So you can check that out on Tubi.
All right. Yeah, so those are some little special some movies that you guys can just like lock in on. There's your 420, there's your Easter.
Yeah.
Mix them
What's
up.
next?
Mix them up in the bag, but if
Yeah. Yeah. Put them all like write them all down on a piece of paper and then like pick them out of a hat. There you go.
yeah, this will be fun. So now, like I said earlier, WrestleMania is coming up. So I came up with a list of some wrestling horror films that I think you should definitely check out. The first one is Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies. So,
There you go.
dude, you have fucking Rowdy Piper, fucking Kurt
Nice.
Angle. There's so many other fucking wrestlers in this fucking Matt Hardy, and it's
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a trauma film too. So,
Really?
yeah, or it was when it comes on it has the trauma theme, so I'm not sure if it was fully
Yeah. No,
made
they
by
probably
trauma,
picked it
but
up.
they
Yeah.
picked it up. But yeah, it's so fucking nuts, the dialogue and everything through it. And so like I had pointed it out to one of my friends that's a wrestling fan. I'm like, dude, watch this fucking movie. I'm like showing him clips and he's like, dude, what the fuck is this? And I'm just like, but it's special because you have the crossover of actual wrestlers, in a horror film. So
What year was
it's
this? Do you
cool.
know?
I can't remember.
Before or
Uh,
after They Live?
oh, that's way after.
Way
Way
after.
after.
Okay.
This is probably like
90s?
90s, like 98, early 2000s maybe. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
okay. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, because Matt Hardy and everybody else is in it. So 98,
Oh,
the
true. Yeah, yeah.
Attitude Era. So, um, we also have Hair for Blood that's streaming on Screenbox.
Screenbox. Yep.
We had the actor from the show come on. We sit there and talk to him about the film. It's not really like wrestling, whatever. He's a struggling wrestler that picks up babysitting, but it's a babysitting gig. Did you ever end up watching that?
No, I didn't get a chance. I
Yeah,
missed the
so it has like
time.
some, the kills and everything. He's doing some of the slams and everything like that. So it's definitely worth checking out.
That film I feel like got a little cult following.
Oh yeah.
When after we posted that episode, there was some people that were like still continue to like listen and kind of give feedback
Mhm.
on that episode. People liked it.
That was cool. And then we have See No Evil. You can watch part 1 or 2, which stars the wrestler Kane, you know what I mean, from WWE. So those are some films that
Very nice.
you like it? You watch those?
I actually like See No Evil 2 more.
Yeah, part 2 is better.
Yeah, yeah. I saw See No Evil in the theater.
Oh, okay.
I was like, who's this guy?
Yeah, that's Kane.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
do you know who Kane is?
Yeah, well, I figured it out. I think I learned more about him after than before, but yeah.
Yeah, I would have thought it would have been better if they would have actually had like his original suit on, like the red suit and everything. They
Yeah.
had more of the look where he took his mask off and everything like that and had the shaved head. I didn't really care for that
Mm-hmm.
Kane, but in the movie it did well. So,
Yeah.
but there's
That's fun.
also a new film called Dark Match that is now streaming on Shudder, starring Aisha Issa and Stephen Ogg and the WWE legend Chris Jericho, which he is now on the AEW roster. So I don't want to
Okay.
sit there and throw no, shade to everybody that's fans of AEW. Like, dude, well, how come you didn't say he was AEW? So that was funny. It was like at the movie night. A few of the guys had seen I had a wrestling shirt on. They came up and they go, I see you have a WWE shirt on, but do you like AEW? I'm like, I enjoy both. You know what I mean? Let's
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
I met Swerve Strickland over
Yeah.
at New York Comic Con. So they were telling me how they were going to one of the events and stuff. And Diana Prince, she's a big AEW
Loves it. Yeah.
ambassador. She has her own podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the time of wrestling right now.
Made a
And
big
so
comeback.
yeah,
Yeah.
so AEW is more of kind of like how WCW was to WWE back in the day.
So it's a
So
little too sweet.
too sweet. It's a different following. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you have so AEW is more of people that just are against like, the same shit all the time or whatever. Like they just want to kind of like it's like the outcast. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And that comment I just made was a reference to Friday night when I totally got that reference wrong. I forget what I
Like,
did. I like did the X and I said too sweet. You're
yeah,
like,
you
that's
said
not how
too
you do
sweet.
it. That's not how you
Too
do it,
sweet.
guy.
Fucking DX. Guy did the suck it sign with too sweet. Mixed it up. This guy's over here making history. Yeah, so Dark Match is written by Lowell Dean, who directed the Wolf Cop films.
Can I
Yeah.
ask you a question? Whatever happened to Wolf Cop 2?
It came out.
How did I never find it?
It's called Another Wolf Cop.
Oh, maybe I was looking for Wolf Cop 2.
Yeah. I don't know if they had the third one, but I think they were supposed to be made. But yeah. Yeah, Wolf Cop. Wolf Cop was very nice. I liked
Yeah,
Wolf
yeah,
Cop.
that was fun. That was a good one.
Yeah. But yeah, if just for a little backstory, dark match. Um, the meaning behind a dark match is basically like if you go to a wrestling event and they're taping, and so as soon as like anything like Monday Night Raw, SmackDown ends, they'll have like a match at the end
Yeah.
off air. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That just the fans in the arena can watch. That's a dark match. You know what I mean? So sometimes you'll have, some other people fighting like throughout different storylines just to kind of like give them that room to practice. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like the in-ring experience. So basically the dark match is about a small-time wrestling company that accepts a well-paying gig in the backwoods town only to learn too late that the community is ran by a mysterious cult leader
Ooh,
with crazy plans for their matches, and that guy is no other than Chris Jericho.
okay. That actually
Yeah.
sounds good.
It was. It was
I'm gonna
good.
check that out. Yeah.
It
That
was
did you say
definitely
that's Shutter or Screenbox?
that's Shutter.
Shutter. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually good. I watched it. What was it the other night? Yeah, not bad.
Cool.
Because it actually had a screening. They did that first. They released that, and then they had to wait a little bit down the road for it to release on Shutter. So if you've been looking for it, it's on there now.
Cool.
And so before we even end the show, because that's not even it, I want to get get some predictions. You know what I mean? I want to see because you don't even know who
Jeez.
most of these wrestlers are,
No,
but I
I'm
want to
looking. I
think
don't.
who you are going to pick to win the match.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
WrestleMania has now been broken up into
Easy.
2 nights. You know, there's 2 nights now. So um, the first night is on April 19th, and that's going to be streaming on Peacock. Let's see. Let's go down the main card first. So first match we have Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
I have no idea. I'm gonna
You have no
say
idea who they are.
Naomi.
All right,
It's one
Naomi.
name.
We got
It's
Naomi.
easier.
Let's see. Let me. Let's see. So I can mark down
Okay. All
who
right.
to
You're
pick.
marking it down. Yeah. I have
Uh,
no idea who those two are, but I'm definitely Naomi.
all right. So now in the next match we have Rey Mysterio against Chad Gable. He's going under like this whole different mysterious guy,
Oh,
thinking he's
okay.
a luchador, throwing on a mask, and Mr. Americano. You know what I mean? Who are you rolling
Rey
with?
Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio for
Is this
Dave.
like the third version of Rey Mysterio?
This is the Rey Mysterio that should have retired like years ago, but he's still fighting, and I
Okay.
don't know
We're gonna
why.
go with Rey Mysterio.
All right. And then we got the United States Championship on the line. We got the champion LA Knight taking on no other than Jacob
What?
Fatu.
Who are these high schoolers? I don't know who these guys are. LA. All right, I'm gonna go with Jacob Fatu.
All right, he's
LA
going with
Knight.
Jacob Fatu. That's a good choice right there. Then
All
we got the
right.
World Tag Team Championship on the line. We got the War Raiders versus the New Day.
Oh, it's the New Day all the way.
You go to New Day. They're bad guys now. They're heels.
That's good.
And let's
It's a
see for
horror
the
podcast. We like the bad guys.
yeah. I can't go for the baby face guys or anything like that. I gotta go with the heels. We got the WWE Women's Championship on the line. We have Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. That's Ric Flair's daughter.
All right. I think Charlotte Flair.
You're going with Charlotte Flair?
I feel like I saw her.
All
I kind
right.
of think I know what she looks like a little bit.
All right.
So
Then we got the World Heavyweight Championship. We
no, I
have
never saw that lady
Gunther.
actually.
Huh?
Okay. I said no, I never saw that lady. Actually, I just looked it up.
All right. We have Gunther versus Jay Uso for the World
Oh,
Heavyweight Championship title.
I like that. Jay Uso. I like that
Jay
name.
Uso,
Going with
yeet.
that.
You going
I heard
yeet?
someone say it once. Oh, that's
Yeet.
how I know it. Yeah. All right.
Then we have the triple threat match. We have Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Who are you gonna pick on
All right.
that?
I'm going with my boy Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns, the yeah.
Your your son said I looked like Roman Reigns back in
Throw
the
up the
day.
he said you look like Roman Reigns. What
when he
the
was
fuck?
like this tall, he was like, "You look like Roman Reigns."
No. You said you look like Sami Zayn.
Oh, Sami Zayn. All right. Never mind.
Oh shit.
Is Seth Rollins the um? Who is Seth Rollins? I know that dude. Everyone's that likes wrestling is probably hating me right now. Is that the? All right. No, I know who Seth Rollins is too. Actually, yeah. I
Yeah,
know all
Seth
those
Rollins.
dudes actually in that match.
Yeah, CM Punk. But see, that's the thing. It's like me and Dave, we worked in the field working with kids with disabilities and everything like that. They're the biggest fans of
Yes.
wrestling
Yeah.
ever. Let's see, because even when I grew up a big wrestling fan and I got out of it, I think I was probably what was it? Middle school when I found out it was fake. I was like, man, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Stopped
Yeah.
watching it. And then I started working at the group home, and then like the kids would sit there and just watch wrestling all the time, and we would play the video games. And I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And then
Yeah.
they're just like, this guy, he's him. And I'm like, all right. And I'm like fucking watching it. I'm like watching it again with them. And then my son was born, and he got into wrestling, and so I would sit there and take him. And so it's just like I think it just started to reset again. It was just like going through
Yeah.
that time phase
Hmm.
with my son, and then we fell out of it for a little bit. and then my daughter was born, and then she, watched wrestling. They both started watching it again, and then I took them to Wrestlemania 32, and then we fell out of it. And then just like a few years ago, I just got back into it. So it's like one of those things where the door just kind of just opens back up because
Yeah.
it's just like sometimes it just falls off and then sometimes it just gets better. And I think right now we're at a good point. Last year was great. I ended up going down to WrestleMania in Philly. I think
Yeah.
that's probably like one of the best ones. And I think it's going to be hard to top. Like this year, it's nothing crazy,
Where
but
is this one?
this is in Vegas. I was
Vegas.
actually gonna go, but then I pulled back. I'm like, I'm not liking this card, man. I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
liking this
Yeah.
card at all.
Yeah.
So let's go to night two. We got some more
Okay.
predictions for Dave. We got
Oh,
AJ
geez.
Styles.
There's a few easy ones here for me.
Yeah, we got AJ Styles versus Logan Paul.
AJ Styles.
AJ Styles.
Oh,
Yeah.
without a doubt. I would
Why is
never.
that?
Just personal reasons.
Personal reasons.
You'll never find me rooting for Logan Paul.
Shit. He's actually a good wrestler though.
That's nice.
Oh
So you're
shit.
rooting for Logan Paul?
Nah, I really don't care, but I think it'll be a good match. So
Yeah.
we got the Sin City Street fight. We got Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre.
All right. I don't know either of these dudes. So this is gonna be a guess. I'll go Damian Priest.
Damian Priest for Dave. All right. Then we have the Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way. We have Braun Breaker versus Dominic Mysterio versus Penta and versus Finn Balor.
Just one person here?
That's 4 people.
Do I just pick one?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go with Lil LeBron Breaker.
Little LeBron Breaker. Hey, you remember fucking what's his name? Scott Steiner, Big Papa
Yeah.
Pump.
Yeah.
That's his nephew.
Oh, that's
He's a-
awesome.
Yeah,
Big
he's
Papa
a
Pump.
champion.
He
Yeah,
used to
so
be in all those softcore movies too.
yeah. So
Speaking of like Jim Wynorski, he was in some of those movies with oh, I'm trying to remember her name, but yeah, no, we mentioned some of them.
all right. Then we got the Women's Tag Team Championship on the line. We have Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bailey and Lyra Valkyria.
Feel like I should know these people and I don't.
It's okay that you don't.
Let's go with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, I think.
You got them to keep the titles. All right.
Yeah, all right. Oh, that's a good guess, I guess.
Then we got the WWE Women's World Championship on the line. Triple threat match. We have Io Sky, the champion, versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair.
Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley, you think she's gonna get the title back again?
I think so.
All right.
She randomly showed up in like our For You page. So I'm assuming it was because you were looking up WWE shit.
Rhea Ripley.
I can always tell when Brandon's looking up WWE stuff because that's like all on our For You page, which is
Hey,
better than
buddy.
other stuff that shows up in there. So.
Our For You page is fucking nuts. We can't even open that thing in public.
No, it's a scary thing.
Making sure no one's behind me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
What was my phone trying to do to me?
It was funny because I seen like one of those like a funny comedy reel where the guy was talking to a girl for the first time, and so they're getting to know each other. And she's like, "Let me see your For You page."
Oh
he's
shit!
He's like, "What? What? I don't even have that phone number. I just deleted the app." And so she's like, "I re-download it." He goes, "Oh, my phone just broke." Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nuts.
There's no.
I don't know.
That.
I can't. I don't know. That's not our fault. It's because of the people we follow.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Even when we try to correct it though, I don't know if it's any better. I was like watching picking off ticks off of dogs. I don't know why.
Man.
Like parasites off of animals and stuff like that. I don't know. It's like oddly satisfying watching a tick get pulled off. All right. Anyways, go on.
Then we have the undisputed WWE Championship on the line. We have the champion Cody Rhodes taking on no other than John Cena.
All right. Is there a world where you don't root for John Cena?
John Cena's the heel. I told you. I hit you up.
He turned, right?
He turned, but I'm not feeling the whole turn because it was like, they had a good run for him to be like, all right, what was it? Elimination Chamber. It was him, The Rock, and Travis Scott. They beat up Cody Rhodes. And then now the whole promos that have been going through for everything for
Yeah.
this lead up to this match has been just John Cena just basically kind of whining like a little bitch, saying, I did so much for these fans over the years, and they never were enough. It was never enough for them. So
Oh, geez.
I don't even care about this fucking match
Yeah,
as I
yeah.
thought it
Kind of
would
ruined
be.
it.
Yeah, it's just been fucking
Well, I'm gonna
weak.
go with John Cena just because I don't like looking at Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes. My wife said he was like the Nutcracker.
Yeah. Hey,
All
where's the
right.
Miz? He doesn't wrestle anymore.
He does wrestle.
Yeah.
I think he's just gonna wrestle on SmackDown for the titles. So that's the thing. It's like when it comes to WrestleMania, there's only so many people that they can put on the cards because they have so many fucking wrestlers now.
Yeah.
And so that's why it is now 2 nights. It used to be one night. Now we have 2 nights. And even with these cards, I mean, I'm not satisfied with this. The ticket set price for these were like nuts. And
Yep.
so like I was just like, nah, not doing it. It's not worth
Yeah.
it. But
I only know the Miz because he was on The Real World New York back in the day.
yeah, see,
A lot
that's
of
the
the kids
thing.
don't know that. And I think he had his first interaction with a black person there, which was funny. He was like this super sheltered dude. That's why when he like went to wrestling after, I was like, what? That is
Yeah.
crazy. Because he was like a totally different, he was kind
Mm.
of like an ass, but then like, you learn to like him at towards the end of the show.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite characters on that show. And then
Yeah.
he started to do the real world road rules
Road rule.
challenges,
Yeah. Yeah.
like stuff. So
Yeah. Him and
that's good.
Coral used to like have a little
Uh,
back and forth at times. Then he warmed up to him.
See
They were
that's the thing. That's the only like show that I like that, like reality show was like Real World and everything like that. Like everything else I can't get into it like you.
There's nothing really for me right now. Oh, there's Love on the Spectrum. That's the only one I'm into right now. But
Yeah,
all those dating shows are done at the moment. So who knows? Maybe I'll turn on WrestleMania this Friday since I don't got much else to watch.
there you go. You can tune in and see if your predictions are correct.
Yes, yeah. So when did you say this one is? This Saturday?
It's Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Very cool. Well, Brandon, thanks for breaking down WrestleMania for us. That was very enlightening. I can't wait to see how my picks go. But yeah, thanks. And that was a little different for us talking about some other stuff on here. So yeah, Easter 420, WrestleMania. You guys got so much stuff to tune into this weekend. We hope that you can catch all of it or as much as you possibly can take in.
Mm.
And yeah, have a great time. Stay safe. Don't get too high. And we'll see you later.
And as Dave would say, too sweet.
It's a little too sweet.
Too sweet. We just end the show like
Everybody.
that. We're gonna end the show like that now. Too sweet.
Everybody have a great night. We'll see you later.
All right.
Game over. You lose.